This week, we've got a huge update to custom objects, plus a couple other updates that you guys are not going to want to miss. Stay tuned for this week's weekly breakdown coming up right now. All right, guys, first up is a massive update to the dialer out of HighLevel. So if you guys have never used the dialer before, you're definitely messing up. There's a lot of benefits to using the dialer out of HighLevel. Obviously, convenience, like being able to log all of your calls with your leads, right? If you're in the habit of using your own cell phone for calling leads, even though you have a HighLevel account, again, you are definitely messing up. So the benefits here, rolling out a couple UI improvements, a couple interface improvements, just make it a little bit easier to navigate. One of those being, if you start typing a phone number in here, it will pull up automatically leads as you eliminate what the phone number could possibly be, right? So the more numbers you type, the more accurate it can give you. So look, there's one. Okay. Oh, now it's pulling up my contact right there. Okay, so that is a new benefit to the dialer. The other one, if you are using the LC phone system, now inbound phone calls can be transferred through the dialer. So rather than try to show you all the different ways that the dialer has improved, what I did is I actually took the page from the changelog in HighLevel, and I want to kind of walk you through some of the new screens that you might see in the dialer. Now, just so you guys know, like a lot of features that I'm going to show you guys on these weekly breakdowns, this is a feature that needs to be turned on within Labs. So you have this new one, dialer refresh. You turn that on and it's going to give you access to all of these new fresh updates that I'm going through right now. So right, look and feel just a little bit cleaner. This is the big one, being able to transfer incoming calls. So calls coming in that you answer through the system, you now are going to be able to transfer those phone calls. This is huge for those of you guys that have a team, for those of you guys that are trying to build out a little bit more of like a corporate or like a, I don't know, like a team setup here, right? Those of you guys that are wanting to be able to set up the IVR and, hey, press 1 for sales, press 2 for processing, whatever it is, the ability to transfer incoming calls, even if they go through the IVR, this is huge for a lot of you guys. So definitely do not sleep on this feature. This is going to be a game changer for a lot of you guys. So again, transferring incoming calls, being able to do a warm transfer that way, being able to pull up phone contacts as you dial, right? It's automatically searching your contacts for matches. You can now add notes after a call is completed, and they are very soon going to be adding the ability to add notes actually during your call. So this is what this note right here says, right? So adding notes during the call is coming soon, but for right now, as soon as that call is completed, you're able to add notes, you're able to add tags. This is all new right here. You're able to redial. So look at these, you know, this area right here, all of this is new. So definitely want to turn this feature on Labs, play around with it. Let us know what you think. The new dialer is sick. We're really excited about it. All right, next up, an update to reputation management. Now, a lot of people don't use the reputation management feature, specifically the review request feature. There's a lot of people that don't use the review request feature, and rightfully so, in my opinion. It's very, very limited in how you can request reviews and the logic that you can use as to whether or not to send somebody a review link. Very, very limited. However, if you couple it with an automation, if you use workflows to design your review requests, it can turn out really, really cool. We've seen people do things like sending out an email with a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and depending on which answer they send back, and do we prompt them for like a survey where they give us more information about what went wrong throughout the process, or do we send them to our Google business page, whatever it is. I've seen some really creative and cool use cases for requesting reviews. It's just not using this review request functionality over here. If you were to use this review request functionality over here and think that this was the limit of what you could do with reputation management and HighLevel, you might be underwhelmed. So all of that aside, okay, this is something completely different and completely new that I'm really excited that they implemented. So if you go to settings inside of reputation management and you go all the way down to integrations, what you're going to find is you're going to find a massive list of review management platforms. Now, obviously, some of these are not going to be relevant to us in the mortgage industry, which is what we'll see a lot of the times when you're using a HighLevel feature, right? That's part of why we create the weekly breakdown. That's part of why like our business serves to help the mortgage industry leverage HighLevel, is because it wasn't designed just for the mortgage industry. And so there's a little bit of translation that needs to be done sometime. However, really cool that you can now come in here. The one thing that I saw that was like instantly, I know a lot of loan officers are going to benefit from Zillow. So what I did, I actually have an old Zillow profile that's still live for some reason, right? So these are reviews dating back to like 2017, maybe earlier than that. Right, boom, nope, 2017 to 2018, basically my Zillow review profile. So I went in and I integrated that. Now, I'll be honest with you, it didn't show all of the reviews at first go. And so I don't know if it just takes a while for it to propagate or what, but there's really only this one pulling in, and I'm not sure why. So I'd be interested to see what you guys experience when you come in here and connect it. Connecting is really easy. All you're doing is you're just adding the link to your review. So, or to the review site. So if I go here, I say view connection, it shows me successfully integrated. All I did was grab this link and I pasted it in there, and now it's pulling in the reviews from that source so that I can track the reviews that I'm getting, not just on Google Business Profile, which by the way is probably, in my opinion, the only place that you should be focused on gathering reviews from. I still see a lot of people that are dropping their Zillow link and bragging about new reviews that they got on Zillow. Guys, it's 2025. There's no reason you should be dependent on Zillow for your reviews. However, if you do a little bit of Zillow, if you do a little bit of Facebook, if you do a little bit of Google Business Profile, Consumer Affairs is one that's relevant in the mortgage industry. Not super relevant, but it's usable. And then the other one that I saw that there's going to be some of you guys that'll have a presence on here is Yelp, right? So if you wanted to integrate your Yelp in here, you can as well. So guys, this is big. If you guys are not using reputation management inside of HighLevel, I would highly advise go into settings, go into integrations, set up any profile that you have, and then use this dashboard to be able to track the progress of the reviews that you're receiving. If you only care about Google Business Profile, okay, then maybe you want to leave out the other ones. But in my opinion, if you're getting reviews on any platform, like more than just one platform, this is a really cool new feature for you to be able to just keep track of all of that and make sure that you're making the progress that you want to as far as collecting reviews. All right, next up is a really cool feature that honestly I can't really figure out how to demonstrate for you guys. So I'm trying to. So if I come in here and I edit this, basically what this is supposed to allow us to do now is that is to allow us to select multiple metrics that can be layered on top of each other in one graph. So my immediate use case for this, right, for us personally, and maybe this will allow you to picture what the use case could be for you. My immediate use case for this was, hey, let's layer contacts by week and strategy calls by week. But for whatever reason, the couple of combinations that I selected, it didn't want to do anything with it. So if I come in here and I select, it's supposed to be doable with either a line chart or a bar chart. So if I come in here and I say I want to create a line chart, and I want to create one where one metric is the number of contacts that I've got received, I'm supposed to be able to hit this drop down right here. You can tell by how it boxes this that this is supposed to be multiple select, meaning I'm supposed to be able to come in here and select multiple different metrics that can be layered on this graph. However, no matter which one I've chosen, I've only been able to see this one drop down. So this is kind of a shout out for like help, a shout out for seeing if any of you guys have had success with this or can tell us what we're doing wrong on this. But this is going to be cool. We're excited about this. This is going to definitely allow us to consolidate some dashboards, but like I said, something that we're doing is not resulting in the desired effect. So we'll keep an eye on this. This has happened before with features that are fresh out of labs or features that are coming straight out of HighLevel. We just need to wait a little bit of time, and you know, some of these bugs work themselves out. Maybe it's not a bug, maybe it's something we're doing. So let us know if you have used this feature. The ability to layer multiple reports on top of each other within dashboards is definitely going to be a big one. All right, next up is an update that a lot of you guys have been waiting for, including us, which is the ability to work with custom objects inside of a normal workflow. So custom objects have been something that have been slowly being developed by HighLevel over time. I would not say that this is like a transition into a sprint by any means. We haven't explored exactly what this means as far as our capabilities, but I know that it's definitely expanded what we can do with custom objects quite a bit. Before, in order to use custom objects in a workflow, you had to create a special beta type of workflow, which made it very not useful unless you were planning on using a lot of webhooks. It just wasn't going to be useful for you. So now, on the other hand, you have a new workflow action. Again, this is something that has to be enabled in Labs. Once you enable it in Labs, you should be able to see these options down here, right? Custom objects. So I'm inside of a workflow. This is just any workflow. I've got a client that has used custom objects, and so I'm using their account as an example. But if I come in here, I can now create an associated record for a contact, and my custom objects will drop down here. I can also associate a custom object for an object, or to a record, right, to a contact. And so if I say update associated record for a contact, I can come in here, update an object, whichever label my association is here, or I can say all associated lenders, and I can get the custom fields from that custom object, right? So each custom object you can create custom fields for. I can now get those and I can manipulate those from within my workflow. So guys, I believe this is going to get us like 80-90% of the way there as far as being able to create real relationships between like a buyer's agent and a contact, for example. Now, what this is not going to allow us to do yet is it's not going to allow us to do that with opportunities, which is another layer, right? That's why I said 80-90% of the way there. That really is the next layer to custom objects being what we want them to be. Because at the end of the day, if I create real estate agents as a custom object, I want to be able to associate those agents not with a buyer, right, which is what your contact is, but with a loan, which is what your opportunity is. Okay, so you want to be able to create a association between a custom object and an opportunity. And so I imagine this is coming very, very soon. Right now you can only create associations between your custom objects and your contacts, but as soon as we can do it with the opportunity, it's game over. There's going to be a lot of capabilities unlocked, a lot of workflows that are being simplified, and we're really excited about it. So definitely stay tuned. Now would be the time probably to start dabbling with custom objects. If you have ideas around custom objects, I've definitely been cautioning loan officers not to do too much with this, just because you don't know exactly how this feature is going to develop and whether some of the things that you put in place are going to be made antiquated or unnecessary. Now is kind of a point in time that I would say it's getting to the point that you can start investing in this. So definitely check it out. Go in, create a custom object. Again, this client used lenders. You could do referral partners or real estate agents. Referral partners is probably the first one that I would do, because your referral partners are technically associated to a contact and not to a loan. So if that doesn't make sense, don't worry about it, right? This feature is going to continue to be developed over the coming months, and you will definitely be hearing from us on how you can leverage it in your business. All right, guys, that is it for this week's weekly breakdown. Really, really cool updates to custom objects into the dialer. Definitely jump in, check these out. As far as that metrics one, right, being able to layer different metrics across the dashboard, again, I would love to hear if you're having any success with this. This is something that will develop and get better over time, but I'd love to hear if anybody's using it as is right now. But until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching this week's weekly breakdown, and we'll see you at the top.